Here's another Mixing with Mike tip on organizing your tracks for a mix. So when you organize your audio tracks, there are several things that you can do that can make this process go much more smoothly. One is to move all of the particular instruments next to each other. For example, I move all my kick drums next to each other. Right? So I have a series of different kick drums here. I have some brushes, claps, hi-hats, tambourines, crashes. I move all my percussion and all of those instruments and drums together. I create them all with the same color. So here in Pro Tools, for example, I can call up the color palette here, and if I set it to tracks, then what I can do is I can change the color settings for each individual track. And this gives me some ability to organize my tracks and color code them in a way that's pleasing. Now, what I happen to do here is to use this light sky blue color for my effects returns. And so whenever you see those blue things going across, these are my effects returns tracks. But all of my other color, I have different colors for the different groupings of tracks. So for example, here are all my guitars. So these are all my stringed instruments. The blue, color blue here is all of the keyboard instruments. I always have my vocal in red, my background vocals in orange, and I have two different sets of background vocals, so each one is a slightly varied color, all with their own unique effects. So as I go across the mix, when I look at things, I can see all of the individual groupings of instruments, and it becomes very obvious. These little things and these little tools, just grouping instruments together, moving doubles right next to each other, organizing the tracks in such a way that instruments that really belong together and work together are together, help you to work more quickly and efficiently through the mix. For the 10 minutes that you spend or 15 minutes that you spend organizing your tracks, what ends up happening is over the course of the hours and hours that you're going to be working on the mix, you'll find that you'll save that time 100-fold just in not having to search for things. You won't end up missing things. So when you write automation on one acoustic guitar track, you won't have to go digging for the other acoustic guitar track because it's right next to it. And maybe you can copy and paste and group the automation together so that everything happens all in the same place. The idea is that by organizing and grouping the tracks and by color coding them, we can now work from a more efficient place. So for example, you can do different things based on the way you like to work. I like to put my bass next to the kick drum, even though it's more connected with guitars, and it may depend on the song. I like it because the bass and the kick drum work together to occupy most of the low end and low frequency energy, and so therefore having them next to each other makes it a little bit easier to work with them as I'm going through the mix, because most of the time I'll be working with them at the same time trying to get them to work together, so it makes more sense to have them right next to each other. Likewise, with different keyboard instruments, I may find that I group certain types of keyboard instruments next to each other, like vintage keys next to each other, as opposed to more modern synths that have very electronic-based sounds, as opposed to trying to emulate things from the past. And this way, when you organize your tracks in that way, it's very easy to kind of get around and manage the session. So that's just a quick little tip that'll actually will take a little bit of time initially, but will save you a lot of time down the road. So you can join the Mixing with Mike classes every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And you can go to MPG Insider. If you sign up for the newsletter, you can create a free membership, and that will allow you to attend the live Mixing with Mike classes for free. If you want to view the replays or take any of the courses, then you can look at the membership options that are available at mpginsider.com. Thanks for watching.